My robot in the blue corner let loose a nasty-looking left hook. Its opponent dodged as if the punch was in slow motion. The red robot stretched both its arms and began spinning wildly. And before I could even react and control my creation, one of the red robot's juggernaut arms caught its torso and it was sent flying into the air. The audience gasped in horror. The commenters covered their faces with their hands, bracing for the worst. The host yelled into the microphone, "Is it over for the Blue Spirit? Is this the final blow?" But in the blink of an eye, my robot folded upon itself and landed with its feet against the wall. And then, using that momentum, it springboarded itself into a mid-air somersault and landed behind its opponent like the coolest superhero ever, its sword glinting in the sunlight. Before anyone could even understand what just happened, the red robot began to beep, and then smoke rose from inside it. That was when it split cleanly into two halves. Yep, that just happened. My BattleBot sliced its opponent clean in half, and it happened in a split second. The commentators had to replay that sick move thrice. Hi there, my name's Wade, and I built the world's coolest samurai fighting robot. I've always known I love building stuff. It all started when I was 4, and my dad brought home my first ever Lego set. In 2 weeks, I had built every possible thing I could with that set, so my dad brought home even more. Soon I was building like a master builder, and Lego stopped being enough, so I started tinkering around in my dad's garage and using old car parts and wires. I built my first ever robot. It was really ugly and it didn't move. It just had headlights that lit up, but to me, it was my first ever masterpiece. That was what got me into learning to code. I was 8 when I started, and when I turned 10, I had built walking, dancing robots. It was only a matter of time before I figured out I could make insane fighting bots, and my first ever successful BattleBot was what launched me into infamy. Suddenly, I was the talk of the town. Robot Whiz, they called me. I got invited to our local morning TV show, and the local newspaper did an article on me. People even told me to join a very popular show on TV where they put their creations to the test. I won that fight, of course. My bot was undefeated 3 championships in a row. But that wasn't a lot of fun for me. What I really love are the fights that people go to in secret, the underground bot fights. Because of my undefeated bots, I gained a reputation. Suddenly, people wanted me to build them robots, and they were willing to pay me insane amounts of money. Collectors, sci-fi nerds, tech moguls, even celebrities. They all slid into my DMs and begged me to do a robot for them. And I did, if the price was right, of course. Now, don't call me greedy, because my bots take a lot of work, but I ended up making a few million off of one very popular guy who owns a billion-dollar tech company in Silicon Valley. That was kind of the big moment for me. I was able to pay for all my siblings' college, I paid off my parents' mortgage, I was able to set aside money to buy my very own house, and I still had a good amount of change left over. Just from that one deal. All this at the age of 16. I brought my family a much better life than we used to have, and I was basically taking care of all their needs. I even started a whole business focused on bots and tech repair. But guess what? All those interviews, TV appearances, news articles, even the times when I had to meet with clients, my family sent my brother. Yep, they used my brother's face and told everyone he was me. So during those interviews, I was there in name and on paper, but my brother was the one who appeared on screen. When I was chosen to join that bot battle on TV, they used my name and my robot, but my brother was the one in the stadium pretending to be me. I did all the work. I was the one explaining things to my clients. I was the one who built up a successful business, but my brother's face was the one plastered all over my brand. You built yourself a great reputation, son, but that's not good enough. Your mom's got a point, son. If you really want to make it big out there, you gotta look good. You know what I mean. Yeah, the camera, it doesn't love you that much. Remember all those YouTube videos you posted about making that robot and how it tanked completely? It's because people are awkward about looking at that face and those pimples, so, you don't want to waste this opportunity, right? Luckily, your brother looks real good on camera, right? Yeah, it's just gonna be for a while, right? You just gotta establish your name out there. But that little while never did end. Ryan posed as me whenever there was a camera involved. It was when my mom had my brother's name legally changed into mine that I knew they had no intention of telling everyone the truth. But it wasn't even the fame or the money. It wasn't even the fact that Ryan got to meet the cool people and go to celebrities' houses and parties. I didn't care about all that stuff. All I cared about was that my creations were getting the attention they deserved. What really got to me, though, was when Ryan started going after Kelly. Kelly was my crush from way back, and Ryan knew that. Kelly never noticed me because I was such an awkward nerd, but she noticed my brother, and when he became famous thanks to my inventions, he started dating her. I was furious, so I started plotting my revenge. Everyone knew Ryan had a less handsome little brother, but they never paid attention to me. The spotlight was always on Ryan pretending to be me. Until I launched my very own brand of robots. No Ryan, no Ryan's face, it was all me. And at first, nobody gave me the time of day, but then I started joining the bot fights. I built a bot that sliced through the competition one battle at a time. That was the birth of my ultimate masterpiece, the Robot Samurai, Blue Spirit. I took the underground bot fight scene by storm. Everybody was so impressed that the little brother everybody was sleeping on was also a robotics genius. Of course, the case was actually that I have always been the only one who could build robots, but to everyone watching, Ryan was the real deal. So you know what I did? I challenged him to a duel. And that video of me challenging him got uploaded on YouTube. There was mad hype. Everyone wanted to see it. Brother against brother. Who will end up victorious? Naturally, Ryan didn't want to go up against me, especially because the bot he was using was one that I designed years ago. And since then, my designs have become so much more sophisticated, and my coding has since improved tenfold. So when Ryan kept deflecting and saying he didn't want to embarrass his own little brother in front of the whole world, I called his bluff, and I called him chicken multiple times during my live streams that I did on my own channel. If he had spent his whole life piggybacking on all my work, I was going to piggyback on his fame and success that he gained thanks to me. I made sure to target his audience and use that sibling rivalry to my advantage, and soon I had a following of my own. Eventually though, thanks to pressure from his fans and the comments on his channel, Ryan finally agreed to battle me. Most people still rooted for him, simply because he's hot. No surprise there. But now, I too had people cheering for me to win. It was a massive stadium. I rented it with my own money. Tickets were free and anyone and everyone came to watch our legendary face-off. That was the day Blue Spirit fought my old creation, Red Danger, and shocked the world. The fight was over in under 2 minutes, and Red Danger was left smoking on the floor, cleanly sliced in half. Ryan's popularity plummeted. To add to his and my family's shame, I told everyone the truth, and people listened to me. They believed me. I exposed everything they'd done. Of course, after the dust settled, nobody cared about Ryan anymore. He was disgraced, and my mom and dad were labeled as opportunists who cared more about the money than celebrating their own son's success. You could say maybe it was a bit harsh what they got, but I suffered a lot because of what they did. For years, I always thought I wasn't good enough, that because I looked the way I look, my brother deserved to take credit for all my hard work. But I was the one bringing them money. I was the one who bought them houses and cars and food, and they never once thanked me for it, or acknowledged me. Funny thing is, the one who sparked it all, the one person I was trying to impress, never cared. Kelly still chose my brother over me just 'cause of his looks, and that's fine. After all of that, I realized I shouldn't chase people who didn't want me. Anyway, I was the one who ended up being surrounded by hot girls and celebrities, so Kelly didn't end up being a huge loss. And now, my whole family owes me. I paid for everything they own, so now they work for me. Ryan has to work for me for the next 20 years just to pay off the Lambo he bought with my money. And you know what? It feels good to finally get the respect I deserve.
Please don't forget to share this podcast on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and so on. Thanks for your support. Check out our YouTube channel by clicking the link in this episode description. And also, kindly please rate and review this podcast. Bye.